Good morning, Cranes. I'm Aadhi.
And I'm Zain Abdelkader.
Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024.
And we're coming to you from the CKTV studio.
This is our last CKTV show of 2024.
We only have 2 more school days before holiday break.
That's right, but there's been a lot happening in the month of December.
So let's get to it before we ring in the new year.
On Friday, December 6th, we had the chance to have special guests for an all-middle school assembly with the Asian American Dance Program. Dana Tai Soon Bridges Dance Company. The dance company was led by the child of 2 Academy alums, Anna Chang and Joseph Burgess.
The program was called Landscapes, a dance tribute to Toshiko Takazu, and it coincided with the Cranbrook Art Museum's exhibition Toshiko Takazu Worlds Within, that runs until January 12th of the coming year.
In other all-school news, their band, orchestra, and choirs have been busy with their December holiday concerts. Our middle school Presto Strings, 7th and 8th grade choirs, and dance too, all had a performance at the Performing Arts Center on December 11th.
And the middle school 7th and 8th grade bands, the upper school concert band, symphony band, and jazz band all had their performance last night. Job well done to all groups.
Our drama club also had their huge performance of the musical Beetlejuice on December 13th and 14th at the Kingswood Auditorium. They'll be doing a special performance for both MSB and MSG tomorrow.
The performance included 15 cast and crew members from the MSB and MSG and was the result of their hard work starting back to mid-September.
This was one of the very first musicals to middle schools to produce this musical, since the rights to this play were just recently released.
In all other school news, our forensics team had a chance to compete in the MIFA Fall Tournament before the Thanksgiving break. This is a public speaking competition with multiple different categories to compete in.
7th grader and CKTV member Josh Zhu won first place in oratory. MSG member Kara Singla won 3rd place in oratory. Her younger brother, 6th grade Kamran Singla, took 1st in broadcasting. 7th grader Ethan Gao took 3rd in original interpretation.
6th grader Avi Chandra took 4th in his category of informative, and his brother Ryan Chandra took 2nd in broadcasting. The forensics team will compete again in spring and potentially in some invitationals over the winter.
The CK Robotics team have also been hard at work. There have been just 2 more months to go before the state championships take place in February and March. This year, there are 3 8th grade teams, 38A, 39J, and 39T participating in the league this fall. Many teams are on 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th versions of new robots as they improve their design and functionality.
Our teams had a chance to compete in their league finals at Notre Dame Prep High School over the first weekend in December. Out of the 39 local teams competing, our very own 8th grade team won. Team 38Z won 8th place. The team is made up by Edward Chang, Brian Chang, Kingsley Lee, Amrath Prasad, and Emerson Whitaker. That same team also won the Amaze Award.
And in other all-school news, CKTV member Matt Mlinzak and Ethan Anversa had a chance to catch up with 7th grade team leader Nathan Costa, who's also a member of the Cranbrook Schedule Committee. He explained that Roxanne Higgins from the ISM, the Independent School Management, came to the school earlier this fall in order to redesign the schedule. Costa and other members of the CK community volunteered their time to create a committee focused on redesigning our school schedules.
Costa said that the changes will affect both the upper and middle schools. Last year, Higgins came to the MSB in order to observe our class to aid in the changes.
Higgins talked to students from all grade levels, and students advocated for the need for less homework, and teachers and faculty have advocated for longer classes.
Longer classes would decrease the number of transitions within the day. 4 80 or 90-minute classes each day would increase the amount of time that students would be learning and decrease the amount of time students spend out of class. Because the number of classes each day would be less, the amount of homework students have each day would also hypothetically decrease.
Now let's get into our grade level news. In 7th and 8th grade news, both grade levels will have a chance to participate in the tradition of the sled race, because last year's 7th graders never had a chance to use their sleds because of lack of snow. they will have a change this year.
CKTV members Mac Molenczak and Ethan Universa had a chance to talk with Mr. Costa about the sled race for 7th grade and sled reunion for 8th grade.
The 8th grade made their sleds last year, and they're essentially putting together their sleds, making sure any maintenance or repairs that need to be made from storage are made. And then that's basically it. We'll be ready for when the snow comes. Thinking the 8th grade will go on the first snow, 7th grade will build their sleds probably after the new year, and we'll race them sometime in January or early February. I don't know how well we'll be able to plan it, to be honest. I think we're going to go out on the first snow and go out for an hour and go sledding. We'll do what we've done before. We'll have a race. We'll go down the hill. We'll time it. Hopefully people will get a couple runs apiece. But it'll sort of be what it will be. This is what we call like bonus time for these sleds that didn't get to run last year. Down part of off of Snake Rock, there's a hill that we've used in the past that comes down. It goes pretty steep, goes pretty fast, but it's not too long.
Thanks for that, Mac and Ethan. And now we're going to kick it over to Zimry Kramer, who has all the info you need about MSB sports and clubs. Zimry?
Thank you, Zain and Aadhi. I'm Zimry Kramer, and I will be doing this show, CK Sports. We are in the Winter 1 season, and there are plenty of intramurals and other sports to review. And now let's talk about our 7th and 8th grade basketball teams. 7th and 8th grade basketball had 2 games last week, versus Derby on Thursday and South Hills on Monday. While this week, we had a game versus Covington, and we played North Hills today. That wraps up our CK Sports. Back to you, Zain and Aadhi.
Thanks for that, Zimry. Now as we move into the holiday season, all three grade levels have been working on creating blankets and advisory.
The blankets are for the pediatric patients at Corbel Health. At the time of filming, the school had created over 56 blankets.
And lastly, Grandparents and Special Friends Day is coming up on Friday, December 20th. Students can bring as many as all 4 of their grandparents.
If you don't have grandparents who are able to come, you can bring a special someone in their place.
6th graders will be headed to the Art Museum. 7th grade will go to the Science Museum.
And 8th graders will be staying here and having a special guest speaker. There will be early dismissal that day.
From there, we'll head into our winter holiday break. We'll return in the new year on January 6th with an A-Day.
Well, that wraps up our show.
If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the CKTV YouTube channel.
You can find us on YouTube at CKTV, CKMSB.
We will look forward to returning with new shows and online content in the year.
We hope everyone has a relaxing and memorable break.
Well, thanks again. I'm Zain.
And I'm Aadhi. Have a great rest of your week, Cranes. Aim high.